Dan kita juga ingin fahami selain daripada apa yang kita tahu yang dimaklumkan daripada pihak bomba setakat ini, kita juga ingin tahu lebih lanjut mengenai dengan pergerakan tanah secara umumnya. Tentunya kita ingin melihat kepada apa yang dipercayai puncanya berlakunya sumber air ataupun pergerakan air bawah tanah itu yang boleh mencetuskan tanah runtuh. Ini bukan pertama kali kita melihat isu yang sama tentunya di ibu negara juga. Kita ingin mendapatkan perincian lebih lanjut dan pemahaman lebih mendalam mengenai dengan kejadian tanah runtuh ini dan sudah bersedia di talian bersama saya ketika ini Eriko Motoyama, pengarah program Slope Watch. Terima kasih Eriko sudi bersama kami di Astro AWANI. Walaupun sedang menyambut cuti umum ketika ini, Eriko sudi meluangkan masa bersama kami. Eriko, baru saja mendapat berita yang agak mengejutkan. Eriko kata tadi tidak dijangkakan tanah runtuh berlaku di kawasan ini, tetapi Eriko, apa yang kita boleh faham tentang pergerakan tanah ini? Dikatakan oleh pihak bomba sebentar tadi dipercayai berlaku akibat sumber air bawah tanah. Eriko.
Okay, yes. Okay, first of all, Assalamualaikum. Tadi the pihak bomba sebut sebelum the runtuhan besar, ada runtuhan kecil, ada small landslides, basically slope failures. Tapi it's probably most likely ada tanda-tanda sebelum the small landslides, especially when it comes to pipe pecah, meaning that actually according to JKR and other technical agencies, pipe pecah is one of the main reasons for tanah runtuh happening. Anything concerning air. So ada banyak faktor-faktor macam steep slopes, cerun curam, peparitan yang rosak, and then there is pipe pecah as one of the reasons for factor for tanah runtuh. So it's not surprising to hear. Sorry.
Go on, Eriko.
But okay, with these kind of that means that it's not like the pipe pecah and the next day akan runtuh. It's probably pipe pecah and then it was maybe the air bocor for a long time, and then it's been happening. Sebab what happening is that the cerun jadi saturated, berair. It becomes very soggy. Now, one of the things that is very useful for the general public is kalau ada keadaan situasi macam ni, there will be water ponding, bertakung air, especially at the bottom. So you will see it when you're walking at the kaki cerun, at the end of the bottom of the cerun. You will see air yang keluar. It's not air from a longkang, or it's not air. It's just air coming out of the cerun. And then mungkin kadang-kadang it will bertakung. So there will be sort of like water. It never happened before, tapi suddenly it's happening. That is satu tanda-tanda. And then in the middle of the slope, there would be like you will notice the ground jadi very watery, very watery. Sometimes ada hakisan, or there will be some kind of evidence of water that is in the middle of the slope. And di atas kadang-kadang boleh nampak rekahan because the water is so heavy, the slope, the earth is so heavy. So then ada boleh nampak on the concrete, the car park area ke tepi jalan, you will start to see a rekahan. So these are the signs that it's not just, it probably was happening mungkin for some time. So if the public knows these kind of tanda-tanda, then it jadi macam early warning. It's an early warning as visual, not using alat-alatan.
Yeah, Eriko, as you said, this might have taken some time to happen. What's the minimum amount of time for this to have happened if we're looking at the cost being, a source of water underground? What is the minimum time frame that we can expect?
Okay, that's kind of hard to say because there's other factors juga. Like, for example, the water pipe. I mean, the pipe, is it a complete break? So then banyak air keluar, atau it's just like a crack, and then it just takes a long time. So air bocor tapi sikit-sikit. Is it musim hujan? Because then if it's musim hujan, then there will be rain plus the bocoran. It depends on what kind of, and also geology has a play in it as well. So it's kind of hard to say. But other cases that happen, people were reporting, for example, Satu case di Ulu Klang, people were reporting like 6 bulan before it happened. So sometimes it depends. It's like depends on the water flow. It depends on many factors. But people were reporting 6 bulan. So basically, ada chance to catch these incidents of Tanah Runtuh sebelum berlaku.
Eriko, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the area, but of course the name itself suggests Bukit Tunku, right? What do you know about this area?
Yeah, okay. So Bukit Tunku, actually, I have received, so Slope Watch is a organization yang bantu penduduk to basically monitor the slopes and buat laporan kepada pihak government. So, for tindakan awal. So I have done one case in Bukit Tunku, not Bukit Tunku, not far away from Makkah. In this case, the resident already sedar. Dia already know that there is a tanda-tanda. Actually, dia nampak ada hakisan, ada runtuhan kecil yang sudah berlaku. So she knows that kalau dia biar macam tu, it might happen. It might become a big one. So dia call kami, and then we went. Memang it is a ground movement, ada tanah yang gerak. We wrote a report, sent it to DBKL, Jabatan Kejuruteraan, and they responded. So, by the way, DBKL has a very good engineering department. They are very good at working with the communities. So sometimes we can catch the Tanah Runtuh before it happens.
Right, Eriko, and at the same time, I mean, we're talking about people's awareness towards this and what are the kind of symptoms or signs that they can look out for. But apart from that, we were just informed by the bomber just a while ago that rain and heavy rain is happening at the site at this moment in Bukit Tunku, which could potentially affect their operations, operasi bomba. But at the same time, this could also, as you said, I mean, weather plays a part and plays a role in affecting ground movement as well, slope movements. So how can we understand the effects of perhaps bad weather in the area that could potentially affect and cause even more movements after this?
Right. So probably by now, we have the technical agencies like Jabatan Mineral dan Geoscience doing a rapid assessment. Rapid assessment is basically to get a grasp of the situation as the pihak bomba tadi sebut. They're monitoring they're checking for further ground movement, that kind of thing. And together with other agencies like JKR, they're going to come up with a temporary solution on basically how to manage the. Well, first of all, it's how to basically make sure that the people are safe And then secondly is to make sure that there's no secondary ground movement that could do further damage. So that is beyond our scope, but I'm sure that the government agencies are working to come up with a bunch of measures and solutions to make sure that that there's no further Tanah Runtuh that will happen. Yeah. So yeah. And then they'll continue with their further investigation.
Yeah, surely there's a much deeper investigation and analysis and evaluation needed to understand. But based on the video that we've shared and based on the video that you're able to see right now, are we able to determine the extent of the damage caused by the slope failure here?
It's quite big. I just looked at it, and then I think tadi Wamba was saying 20 kaki, is it? There was two bahagian, section A and B, and they were both quite wide. So it's quite a wide area. I guess I'm so sorry. I'm still on Raya, so I haven't had a chance to Google the location. But basically, it's. I think what everybody is doing is to make sure that the elements at risk meaning kalau ada jalan down the slope, make sure that that anybody or any vehicle or any structures is protected. So I think that would be the first priority. But the extent, I'm not able to see whether that slope had any kind of structures on it, or whether it was just a slope yang, that didn't have anything on it. I'm not able to really comment on the extent of the damage yet.
Right. Eriko, lastly, just before we wrap things up, perhaps you can share some of your thoughts on the best practices to monitor slope stability and for us to identify potential hazards in the future.
Yeah. So, we've been working with communities and also with pihak berkuasa tempatan. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, for example, in PAJ, they said that they have actually managed to secure funding for, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 4 system amaran for Tanah Runtuh. Now, these systems are they're quite pricey. They're putting it into really high-risk areas. But there's a lot of, we have so many slopes just in the Klang Valley alone. So, to me, the best way to prevent or to have an early warning system for Tanah Runtuh is visual inspection. JKR has publications or has material on this. Slope Watch also does have sort of a module course on this. We will try to make it more accessible to the public because, early warning is basically, it's the best way to prevent these kind of things from happening.
Right. Thanks so much, Eriko Motoyama. Terima kasih. Itu tadi Eriko Motoyama, pengarah program Slope Watch, kongsikan sedikit sebanyak pandangan dan perkongsian mengenai dengan pergerakan tanah. Apa yang kita boleh fahami antara punca-punca yang boleh membawa kepada tanah runtuh yang berlaku di Bukit Tunku pada jam 1 tengah hari tadi.